Masking Life and Liberty. I am completely confused by the pro-life contingency that believes it is their sacred duty to strip a woman of her right to choose, but that mandatory COVID masks are an affront to liberty. I am confused because I believe in the sanctity of human life along with the importance of liberty. This belief guides my actions. Understanding that life and liberty are often opposition to one another is a quintessential philosophical, ethical inevitability. Balancing these two essential elements of life are constant vectors in my comportment. The reality of everyone enjoying both a full life and enjoying maximum freedom is mutually exclusive. We simply cannot have both. I am big tent pro-life. Big tent pro-life focuses on helping people throughout their lives from conception to grave, assisting children in need, banning capital punishment, and supporting equal rights movements are all part of big tent pro-life. Big tent pro-life is pro-Black Lives Matter and pro-feminist. Some find a claim that pro-life can be pro-feminist confusing. This is because the focus of small tent pro-life is anti-abortion. Focusing on restricting or criminalizing elective abortion cannot help but lead to a life v. liberty battle. Women should absolutely have the liberty to choose if and when to reproduce. Human life should absolutely be protected, not terminated. Conundrum. The right of women to elective abortion is in opposition to the right to life of the preborn. Balancing these two essential but oppositional rights calls for wisdom far beyond King Solomon's. I do not possess Solomon's wisdom, and I shall never become pregnant. But the right to life is so important to my wife and me that we only use barrier method contraception until after the birth of our second child, when we use surgical sterilization. Why? Because we did not want to slough off that tiny little hollow sphere of human potential blastula of a human being, our son or daughter. This is a very far-right position to take. The moral, ethical argument for barrier method or sterilization-only contraception assumes that life begins at conception, which it does. It does, but I would never try to force my personal restriction, my liberty of no chemical contraception or zero elective abortions on anyone. Life does begin at conception, but balancing life and liberty to the furthest of the hard right spectrum completely erases the liberty aspect of a woman's right to choose. In life v. liberty, we must have balance. My life v. liberty abortion legislative legal balance is unrestricted elective abortions for the first trimesters, 14 weeks of pregnancy, and then allowing abortions only to ensure the safety of the mother. Your balance may differ. As stated, I find perplexing the pro-life contingency that feels we have a duty to strip a woman of her right to choose, but owe our fellow earthly inhabitants nothing concerning reducing COVID's deadly advance. Anti-maskers are 100% pro-liberty and 0% pro-life. And the most maddening aspect of this situation is how the two ideas so often cohabit within the same soul. This makes me wonder if many small tent pro-life anti-abortion folk are merely men trying to control women and others, but who have no real regard for life or liberty. Could they simply be wrapping themselves in these life and liberty bedrock foundations of my nation as a means to continue our patriarchal, misogynistic, and racist ways? I hope not, but I shall continue to follow the science, flatten the curve, and listen to the CDC rather than the manipulative voices of pro-life tyranny and anarchy. COVID is real. Don't be a mask hole. Mask up.